Good morning. I am Dr. Elizabeth Samantha Rothschild Judge. Some many years ago, there was a company that was going to set up operations in a city that I was living in at the time. And all of that city, all of the citizens were excited about it because it was a promise of jobs and economic stability if they were to go work for this company, right? Well, no one knew how long it would take for the company to set up or how long it would take for them to come there, but they knew that they would be bringing more than 1,500 jobs to the area. So a lot of the citizens were counting on it. Some of them were banking on it. And the operations setup was delayed from what was anticipated. And it caused a great economic instability in the area. So I brought that up because I was thinking about how I'm setting up operations in Washington, D.C. with the promise of jobs and new jobs creations and good salaries and insurances to go with the employment and other perks and benefits, and not certain how long the process is going to take to the point of hiring, and not wanting to cause any sort of economic instability for citizens who are trusting that this is a good thing and that they will be able to get a job or maybe transfer from a current job whereby other persons are standing up wanting the old jobs that are left in good standing and those things. So I just want to say I'm working diligently to set things up, but we cannot have things set up improperly, and I will not permit security breaches and breaches of trust and humiliation of trust to thwart my operations. So my company is a good company. It's built on mandatory honesty, Corporate Law and Securities Incorporated, of which I am the founder and chief executive officer, as well Annunciation Holy Catholic and Apostolic Church and Parish, which will employ persons who are not members of either the church or the parish. I'm looking for certain types of employees, and there are good citizens here in the workforce who can be depended upon to do a good job if they can get the job. So that's my end of making the jobs available. So there's a little more work that needs to be done in order to be able to open positions and admit persons into payroll. Then there's the orientation and training and all of that, which is really quite simple. In the meantime, I'm in the middle of property acquisitions and finding a basis. Although some of the work can be done remotely, I still need to have a location for it to be solidified, okay? So everyone just kind of hold on. I don't want to leave anyone hanging in the balance. And definitely I am following through on everything, but I thought about that company going to the city, and it was like 10 or 15 years before they actually opened up. And by that time, some persons, I remember speaking to people about it, and they were so sure, oh, I'm going to work at this company. And then they went through years of economic instability in their current positions, and then the job market wasn't all that great in the area and things of that nature. So that I've come to DC, I found that the job market is pretty stable, and jobs, positions, and employment is stable. And here's something new coming in that people are looking forward to. So in the meantime, we don't want to fall into imbalance or economic instability. So hold on to what you have and make the most of it, and still plan for that day when it will be manifested positions that are likable, doable, enjoyable, positions that will be employment of longevity, of high regard, of accountability. All of that is coming, okay? So I'm working hard to get that done. And in the meantime, when I'm doing my work, if I'm not able to do it correctly and properly and it's going to be mistakes, then I'll just hold off on it. That's why I work when I feel like it. Because if I'm being harassed, I don't feel like working, I put it up. And I'm not going to rush into a process or feel pressed to get something together at a time when there's chaos in the climate or evil in the environment, for that matter. So that's what the holdup is. But I'm here, the company is here, and I'll see what I can do about getting some of the remote positions open and getting the payroll started for that. That's a little more difficult, a little more tricky. I work remotely, but then it's just one me, you know. But so in the meantime, just understand that everybody knows I'm staying at the Patricia Handy Place shelter in the meantime till my house is ready. And then I've decided to acquire 2 other properties around my house if the owners are willing to sell. And I'm thinking either I'll keep them like that or maybe I'll uproot all of the land and build one big house. I don't know. I hadn't decided completely. I'm still in the decision-making process. And so at the shelter, it's difficult for me to just get my work done because of the volatility. You know, there's people that are homeless, and the reason they're homeless is because they got on the nerves of the people that would let them stay. They've been run off from living with anyone all the way to the homeless shelter, and they have no way to get a place to live without governmental assistance by Section 8 project housing or something. They can't feed themselves without food stamps once they get their housing. And well, that I don't have that issue. I'm noticing, as one who used to let people come stay with me all the time, then I learned better that that's what the problems and the issues are for some homeless people, and that they're there at the shelter. Their same problems that they provided are caused in the places that they were living, and it's affecting my work capacity because I need to be able to proofread, double check, make sure I can think through the information. I'm putting out the right information and doing things within regulations without any mistakes, abiding in policy. And when I'm distracted by nonsense and foolishness, if there's irritations or aggravations, that does interfere with the normal workflow. And so that's why I'm saying bear with me. If I were in my own place already, or if I decided to get somewhere in the interim where there's peace, I could get it done in no time. But that I'm at the shelter, I have to do it as I can. And here, it's an economic distortion for where I am, because I don't get food stamps. And I don't need them to live once I move into my own place. And unlike some persons who will not be able to have a place to live at all, or those that can't get a place to live without government assistance, I don't have that problem. And I do work full-time for myself. So just to say, if you've ever had anyone to live with you and you had to put them out, or if you've ever been around someone who's so irritating you wouldn't want them around even for a visit, I have to dwell in the same place with these persons, people who live in imaginary facades of life and try to portray their lives as something real, and are crazily disillusioned by what the real world really is. So hang in there, everybody, and I'll bring more stability to the area by way of my company. And of course, as the governor incumbent of the federal state of Washington, D.C., I look forward to my inauguration. Y'all have a great day.